of Balarāma, Pūrṇimā, and understanding about Lord Balarāma. So we did see in the last discussion about who is Lord Balarāma, what is Balarāma Pūrṇimā, and in 2022, 12th August is Balarāma Pūrṇimā. On this day, if we can hear, understand, and glorify Lord Balarāma and worship him in the right mood, this would be the best thing that we can ever do. Because Lord Balarāma is also called the Adi Guru. Apart from his different names, what are the names that we saw in the previous discussion? Dauji, that's how Krishna calls him, his elder brother. And he's also called Balabhadra because Bala Uchraya, we did hear that verse. And he's also called Rama because Lokaramanath, he gives pleasure to the entire world. And Sankarshana because Garbha Sankarshana Tambai. He was moved, attracted from the womb of Mother Devaki to the womb of Mother Rohini. And in Sanskrit, the meaning for attraction or pulling or moving is called Sankarshana. And hence, he's also called Sankarshana. Now, we are going to see some more pastimes. We did see a couple of pastimes as to how Balarāma finished Dhenukasura, the ass demon, and Pralambasura. Now, in this, we are going to see some more pastimes of Balarāma. So one is he chastised Kauravas and he literally dragged the entire Hastinapura into the Ganges. So why did Lord Balarāma do this? Let's understand. Samba, the really dear son of Jambavati and Sri Krishna, he kidnapped Lakshmana. So this is Lakshmana with a double A. So Duryodhana and Bhanumati, they had a son called Lakshmana. And they had a daughter who was called Lakshmana with a double A. Now, this Lakshmana, Samba wanted to kidnap Lakshmana and he did. Now, what happened? All the Kauravas got extremely angry as to how he could do it because it was this Swayamvara of Lakshmana that was happening. And this is one of the types of marriages, kidnapping the girl and getting married to her. So this was one of the acceptable marriages. So he kidnapped the girl. And he was moving, he was driving in the chariot and immediately the Kauravas followed him and fought with him. Lakshmana really fought very, very valiantly, but still they sent the greatest of their fighters and they imprisoned Samba, and they brought him back to their kingdom. Now, when they got to know about this, the Yadu dynasty, the Yadavas, they got extremely offended. And they said, let's go, there's going to be a big war. Now, Balaram said, no ways we're going for war. Sit quietly. Duryodhana was his favorite student as well. So he said, if I tell them, they will listen to me, they will let them go. Don't worry. So sit back. Let's do this peacefully. So the Yadavas calmed down and then Lord Balarāma goes and speaks to the Kauravas to say, leave Lakshmana and Samba. But then the Kauravas disagree with Balarāma, and they said we are not willing to let go, and they speak very lowly of the Yadavas as well. This really angers Lord Balarāma. Understanding their ignorance, Lord Balarāma uses his plow. So we will always see that Lord Balarāma has a mace with which he was fighting, and he would always have a plow because as Yadavas are Vaishyas, he was part of the plowing, agricultural part of it. So he had a plow with him always. So Lord Balarāma was so strong that he put the plow in Hastinapur and he dragged the entire Hastinapura into the Ganges. And this really scared the entire Kauravas. And because of that, they asked for forgiveness from Lord Balarāma. And they said, we will send Samba and Lakshmana back. So they did a proper marriage for both of them. And with really good respect, they sent them both back to the Yadavas. So this was one of the beautiful pastimes of Lord Balarāma getting very angry. And then, who did Balarāma marry? Lord Balarāma married Revati. Now, who is Revati? Revati was the daughter of King Raivata. And was she from Dwapar Yuga? The news says, no, she wasn't. She came all the way from Satya Yuga. So King Raivata was a king from Satya Yuga, and he had a beautiful daughter, Revati, who was also very, very skilled. Now, King Raivata could not find a match for his daughter, Revati. So he goes to Brahma with his daughter to meet him, to check with him who will be the right companion for his daughter. After waiting for just a few minutes, Brahmaji comes and then he's talking. But then Brahmaji says, "How long did you wait?" He said, "I just waited for a few minutes." And then Brahmaji informs King Raivata that few minutes here in Brahmaloka is millions of years in Bhuloka. So he says, millions of years have passed. And King Raivata gets very worried. He says, "Oh my God, what am I going to do now? How am I going to get my daughter married?" So then Lord Brahma says, "Now it is almost the end of Dwapar Yuga. So please go down. There is somebody called Balarāma, and he is the perfect fit for your daughter." So King Raivata immediately takes his daughter Revati and he goes to Lord Balarāma and requests him to marry his daughter, and Lord Balarāma agrees. Now, people from Satya Yuga, they live a much different lifetime, and they also, in stature, that is, in their body, they are huge, they are big. So what did Lord Balarāma do? She was much bigger than Balarāma. Balarāma himself is supposed to be really tall and well-built and strong shoulders and everything. Still, she was much bigger than him because she comes from 2 yugas prior to Lord Balarāma's yugas. And so what did Lord Balarāma do? He took his plow, kept it on the head of Revati, and she shrunk to the size that was required for the Dwapar Yuga. And then Lord Balarāma marries Revati. So Revati is the wife of Lord Balarāma. What else? Balarāma and Mahabharata. Very interesting part. Now, both Duryodhana and Bhima were very good at mace fighting. Now, who was the teacher for both of them? It was Balarāma. Balarāma taught both of them. In fact, Balarāma always appreciated the superior strength of Duryodhana than the raw strength of Bhima. And Duryodhana was for some reason the favorite of Balarāma as well. So once the Kurukshetra war started, he was expected to support the Pandavas because Krishna was supporting the Pandavas, and the Pandavas also were requesting that Balarāma support them. But because he had equal affection for the Pandavas and the Kauravas, and one of his favorite students were Duryodhana, he said, "I am not going to support either of this." Duryodhana is not listening to the good counsel of either Vidura or Krishna or anyone. In that way, he is not doing good for himself, and the Pandavas are having to fight against them. But I cannot side anyone. So Balarāma goes on an extended pilgrimage for a long period of time. And when he comes back, already the Kurukshetra war was over and Yudhishthira was already crowned the king. But when he gets to know that Duryodhana was killed by trickery, he gets very angry at it because he does not believe in cheating in war. But then later Krishna gives him all the explanation, pleases him, and he convinces Lord Balarāma. So he agrees after that all right, fair enough, and Balarāma gets pacified. Now, the most important part about Lord Balarāma is this, his mercy. We all want to get the mercy of Balarāma, right? Why? Especially because he is called the Adi Guru, the perfect spiritual master or the supreme spiritual master. Now, all of us, because of the mercy of our Guru, we get to connect to Krishna. Srila Prabhupada very often quotes that Guru is the transparent medium through which a disciple can see Krishna. So a Guru's major responsibility is to attract the disciple towards Krishna Bhakti and put him in the service of the Supreme Lord. And the best thing to do for someone to follow is doing it oneself. right? So actions speak louder than words. When a guru, like sometimes we see as a parent, what our child does by looking at what we are doing is always much more effective than what we are asking them to do by words. So Lord Balarāma, by his actions, whether it is to create this material world or it is in maintaining the spiritual world or Krishna's personal paraphernalia, Lord Balarāma is very, very, very adept. So he was always craving to serve Krishna. He was not just in Krishna Leela. If we are wondering, oh, what happened otherwise? Lord Balarāma is the eternal companion of Lord Krishna. So we see him as Lakshmana when the Lord comes as Rama in Ram Leela, and he comes as Nityananda Mahaprabhu when the Lord appears as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he also serves Lord Vishnu as Anantasesha. He's become the bed of Lord Vishnu, which is Sesha, Seshanag. Sometimes we also call him as Anantasesha. So many names he has. So he curls his body to form that cushiony bed for the Lord to lie down on him. And hence the Lord's name is Ananta Shayana. Right? So because he is Shayana, is to lie down or in the sleeping pose, and the Lord is on the in the sleeping pose on Anantasesha. So that form of Lord Vishnu is called Ananta Shayana. So in these different ways and multiple more ways, Lord Balarāma is always enthusiastic to serve Lord Krishna. So when he appeared as Lakshmana, it is said that for 14 years, Lord Lakshmana did not sleep or eat, because he was thinking, if I slept, something would happen to Rama. If Rama woke up to want some service, then I'll be sleeping at that time. So he was awake through the 14 years. That's how much he was serving Lord Rama. Nobody asked Lakshmana to go to the forest, but he wanted to go because of his strong attachment to the service of the Supreme Lord. And what is devotion? What is bhakti? Bhakti is devotional service. We improve in devotion. We improve in spiritual life when we serve. When we serve the Lord, when we serve the devotees. We may not be directly able to serve the Lord like how Lord Balarāma gets. He's so lucky. He gets to serve the Lord directly. But for us, we can serve the devotees of the Lord and please the Lord. So Lord Balarāma, as a spiritual master, he shows us how, in what different ways we can serve the Supreme Lord and his devotees. And that's how he becomes this perfect spiritual master. So on the day, on the 12th of August, from morning to night, just pray to Lord Balarāma that he gives us that particular mood with which we can serve the Supreme Lord. The same mood in which Lord Balarāma is all the time, pray to him on that day that Lord Baladeva, please, as much as you have this intense desire to serve Krishna, give me also that same intensity of wanting to serve the Supreme Lord. With this prayer, let us fast, and after the fasting time, feast, hear lots and lots of kirtan, and read through about Balaram, or even hear this class, this discussion once again on the day of Balaram Pūrṇimā, so that our mati is on serving Krishna just like how Balaram does. Hare Krishna.